Subject wise strategy I will cover now, where in molecules and their interaction. Here you need to focus mainly on protein structure. Here you need to protein structure, enzyme kinetics, and nucleic acid biology. These are the three main topics of this topic. In cellular organization, you need to study organelles. Most importantly, cytoskeleton, filaments and other myosin proteins and everything, and membrane transport mechanisms. Then in fundamental processes, you need to cover DNA replication for sure, transcription and translation. These three processes you need to remember along with diagrams, so that it will be easy for you to remember them. In cell communication and signaling, you need to focus on certain pathways. Signaling pathways you need to remember, where signaling pathways like MAPK, JAK-STAT and GPCR. So these pathways you need to remember. And you can also focus on crosstalk between these pathways, as in on inhibition and forward feedback and everything you can learn from these. In Dev Biology, as I have suggested you the Gilbert book, so you need to understand model organisms like Drosophila, C. elegans and Arabidopsis. Drosophila and C. elegans, when you will be joining further for PhD programs and everything there in research work, these model organisms are used. So if you will go through now about these organisms, then you can get a better idea about it in future in your research and lab experiments and everything. Now to revise developmental stages and mutations, you need to follow this book because you need to understand how these mutations are affecting their development. For physiology and plant cell, you can go through the diagrams part and integrate concepts with them, and mostly you need to focus on practice application based questions. For solving previous year paper, this will help you to familiarize you with question types, like what type of questions are asked in exams mainly. It also help you to identify high weightage topics and also improve time management skills. So you need to go through these papers to improve your time limit. Within 3 hours you have to complete the whole paper, so you need to manage your time. So I will give you time management during the exam strategy. So the tip is to attempt the part A. You need to first build momentum, like you need to spend a maximum of 30 minutes minimum on part A, 45 minutes on part B, and the remaining as much time as you want on part C. You need to mark questions for review if you are unsure, and you don't need to waste time on the tough ones question, because you need to complete only 25 questions, so you can't waste your time on tough ones. The common mistakes you need to avoid during this exam is to avoid the numerical part, numerical questions. Even part A becomes critical in fetching easy marks, so you can't ignore that part. And you can't ignore your revision part, means without revision your retention will drop and you will not remember anything. So the most important thing, whether you need not complete your syllabus but you need to revise, each and every syllabus topic that you have covered till now. Second most important thing which students usually do is they overload themselves with books. You need to stick only to selected resources, and you are not supposed to collect books for that. And last is when you are not enough practicing part C questions, because they are application based, you need extra attention for solving these application based questions, and you can't ignore them, and you can't go without practice. So as till now I have told you, for dev bio and every topic I have suggested you here, common pathways you need to remember, as I have told. Here you need to go for the model organisms like Drosophila and C. elegans. And yes, for this part I have already told you, and mainly for evolution, ecology, here past year papers will be super useful, and also as many questions practice you do, that matters here. Last will be general. For aptitude I have told you that you need to part A you need to focus very much, because it's very critical to fetch you easy marks. For easy marks you need to cover. You need to stay consistent and stay motivated, because it's not a race, it's a marathon, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. You need to surround yourself with study group, or you can join online classes, and you need to keep your track of your progress. So yes, this will be all. I have already told you the main books. Most important before going for the exam, if you are attempting 6 to 7 units out of these 13 core units, then you are good to go. But you need to go with every part of in detail, and you need to go for these model question papers. You need to understand the cutoff strategy. You need not need to attempt all the questions, and that will be it. So Gilbert will be the most important here, and of course Leninger. So these 6 units you need to go through these reference books, and rest you can go for past year papers. For my strategy, when I was giving this exam, I just solved for these past year papers, and I gave 15 to 20 test papers and tried to adjust my marks above the cutoff by 10 to 20 numbers more than the cutoff required. 10 to 20 marks you need to make extra. And also, whatever your questions you are attempting, just don't go for next paper. Revise and see where you are doing mistakes, and clarify those mistakes there and there, so that you don't repeat those mistakes in the next paper. So that will be all from my side. Thank you so much.